Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Schultze, and today I got a special treat for you. We are actually going to be doing our first ever Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of Pirates Minor Civ preview for the Inventors. So what is this mod first of all, what are minor factions, and who are the Inventors? So to put it bluntly, Age of Pirates is a mod for DE that adds, a number of maps, really good maps I should say, that have all sorts of stuff going on. Not only is there new natives on them, but there's also a bunch of wacky effects sometimes, like volcanoes or underwater sections and stuff like that. So I mean, you really should try to explore each and every one of the maps because they always got something fun going on, really. And that point about the natives, well, natives are the second biggest key of this mod because there's actually a large number of natives that you could actually consider to be minor factions or minor civs. Minor civs because, well, they aren't civs, right? You don't see me playing as the Inventors right now. I'm playing as the Swedes, but they certainly are very sophisticated for what a native should be able to do. And as you can see here, the Apache looking pretty bland, right? Your everyday Apache, but if we find one of these inventors in this wonderful Grand Canyon of ours, we will see that those natives have a lot of stuff that, your everyday natives like the Apache or Navajo are not going to have. So why don't we set out right now and try to find the inventors right now? They're somewhere on our side of the canyon here. And I will point this out now since this will be important too. This is a train station, and this will be, this will be something that we'll be utilizing quite a bit here on this map. Mostly what it does is it lets you transport units from one train station to the other. So if you have like a large trade route that goes on multiple sides of the map, just about, you're able to transport them here, and then you're able to port them over here just about. So yeah. That's why that's pretty good. Looks like we ran into another minor faction, the Cowboys, or Frontier Town, just about. We can do them another day. They're actually pretty good as well, and I think the community, when I did my gameplay of them a long time ago, thought that they were pretty nice, That video got like 2.3 something K views or something, so, people really like that one. I'm going to use a couple of cheats here. Notice how I did post Imperial as well, so we could get through things a lot quicker. Speed always wins. There you go. Boom. Alright, let's go down here and find the inventors, because I could totally use some inventions right now. Yep, here they are. Here's the inventors. And you can look right away and notice this big button here, Pick Inventor, and this is exactly why a lot of these factions or natives, whichever you could call at this point, are pretty significant. It's because they let you choose different things with these big button technologies. So to highlight that even more, we're going to go to their site and see, first of all, what do they do in general, basically. Yeah, so something you'll need to understand is that these native sites can vary from map to map as well in the technologies and options they provide you. So for this map in the canyon, your third technology will vary between this map and potentially some of the other maps as well. Like if we went to a water map like the Cook Islands, it would be different. If we went to the map like the Cook Islands, it would also be different. So we're gonna have to look at we're gonna have to look at different maps today to see what all the different techs are and everything just about. So here we go. Flamethrowers. You know the flamethrowers from China, right? Those wonderful units that spray down infantry like no tomorrow. Well, you can get those guys here with the Inventors just about. So they're not quite as strong as the flamethrower that the Chinese have, since they are, just basically infantry, but they are pretty close. They get about 40% of their 40% on the Pierce armor, which makes them tankier than your skirmisher, I would say. And their attack against infantry is very good, with about 3x multiplier on. And you can actually upgrade these guys too, like any other native, which is pretty good. Yeah, so let's go over some of these technologies down here, because these will be pretty important. So this one, and this one are always going to be available, whereas this third one can vary from map to map, like I said. So we'll go over the common ones here. Logical Provitism. This allows your techs to research faster. So if you want to get a bunch of arsenal techs, military unit upgrades, eco upgrades, this is going to make it a lot more faster for you. So just do this. There you go. And here's the second one. Air Explorers. You get a advanced hot air balloon. And with this one, you're basically able to get an advanced hot air balloon that you can scout around the map with just about. You like these guys, right? You know, these are the ones that don't actually die after a number of seconds. So these guys will last throughout the game just about and act as your eyes and ears in whatever spot you have them in, right? We'll just fly them around, scout out the enemy just about. They really should have an auto scout button in the UI here for them, since they are technically a scouting unit. But that's besides the point, you know. That's up to the developers to figure out at this point, yeah. So going back to over here is the third one, the Academy of the Sciences. So what this is it's basically a university that can be configured to do different things for us. Appearance-wise, it looks like just a big ossuary from the campaign, but as you'll see here, it can do some pretty interesting stuff. So if we put it into biology mode, all infantry and cavalry will get about 10% additional HP. So let's look at this. Yep, did you see the HP go up there? Yes, we did. So it definitely works. And if you go back to what we started on, you have machinery. Artillery and warships hit points increased by 10%. This is mostly useful on water maps, as you can imagine, where you're going to be having a lot of boats, but can be used on land maps like this as well to protect your cannons, make them more survivable. Then we have chemistry. Gunpowder units get 10% additional attack, and then artillery gets 5% additional attack. So this is good if you're just trying to do a lot of damage very quickly. Then we have geometry. Not only is it a difficult subject if you're studying it at the university, but in the Age of Empires 3 world, it increases your villain's hit points by 15%, which is not bad, you know. If we look at it right here, this academy should have more HP. Well, the town center does, but the academy stays the same. They can help improve the HP of others, but they can't increase the HP of themselves. How sad. But here we got astronomy. For this map, it's not going to be particularly that great, but on more water-based maps, it increases your warship's speed by 10%, so they can just zip through the water super fast, basically. That's all you need to know about that one. And then from here, we have economy, which will basically turn your academy into a factory, which can trickle some coin, right? And I should actually do this, turn this off. Because if you look at it with the speed always wins active, the coin trickle looks like a cheat, but in reality it's only about 2.75 coin per second here. So yeah, pretty nice auto gatherer coin for us to use just about. And then going back to the inventors, on totally land-based maps, your technology will be rocket factory. Ships you about 2 rockets just about. And we'll wait for that to finish. I probably should just turn the speed always wins back on, right? I will do that right now. There we go. Alright, perfect. Yep, here's about 2 rockets for us to use. And you don't get any other technologies here, so we can just ignore that for now. Now, the most important thing that makes the inventors, well, the inventors, is their ability to pick an inventor. So you got a number of different inventors to pick. You got Thaddeus Valentine, which is known for his tanks. You got Charles Frederick, who's known for his airships, otherwise known as Zeppelins. You can see the Zeppelin there in the background. He actually lets you make those. And then you have Professor Schultze. He's good at giving you machine gunners as well as a very special weapon that we're going to see on this map. So we'll go with Professor Schultze for now and go over what he's got. So he gives you another unit called the machine gunner. And well, it's a machine gunner, right? That's all you need to know. It shoots bullets very fast with a bit of splash on them too, so quite a powerful unit. In addition to the more mobile mode like this, where you can chase down units, you can go stationary and go into a stack mode like this, where he just gets a bigger gun here. And he's got two options. He can either be in this regular mode, where he's got about 5 splash and 8 crush, has multipliers against infantry and artillery, or he can go into the targeted attack mode, where he loses all that splash, but the damage becomes more concentrated just about. And then from there, you can go into transport mode, where he just takes his more mobile little machine gun and continues to walk on his merry way just about. Yep, so you got that option. And then from there comes the interesting stuff. Before we do that, though, we need to go to our trade route over here, get this trading post up. And then I'm going to research some technologies for this trade route. I'm going to get Stagecoach, and then I'm going to get the Iron Horse. And I'm going to get this train station as well. As I said before, the train station is pretty important, since it can let us actually transport units from the train station over here all the way to the one that's all the way over on this side of the map if we wanted to. Doesn't look like the AI sadly built his, but that's okay. We can still do our stuff. So this is the weapon that Professor Schultze is really well known for. The armored train. Unlocks the armored train ability, which can be used on enemy trade routes. So this is an armored train basically. So if we're here either at the native site or at a train station actually, we can see this little thing in the UI spawns a armored train on any railway trading route site just about. Used on trading post site marked with flags. So if we want to do that, we have to come all the way over here to the other side on the enemy side here, and we just park the train on his side of the map. And we will see very shortly, look at this train, you know, it looks like your everyday train except the big giant cannon coming out of the middle of it. It parks itself here, and it will start to unleash hell on the enemies, just about, yeah. Yep, so he's just going to try to shell some of these units here. But yeah, it looks like because the Hods have a large army here, they were actually able to use their barograms to cut through the train pretty quickly. So normally this train is supposed to be used with like an army, so you have an army attack him, and then the train just pulls in and does a lot of damage, just about. So I will return to depot. You actually can despawn the train as well, so you can reach the end of the cooldown a bit quicker over there, basically. Yep. So that's basically how the armored train is statistically. Normally, now you can actually upgrade your armored train even more using military railways. Unlocks full armored train potential and gives every armored train wagon a special active or passive ability. So yeah, did you know that every one of the cars on the train actually has their own special ability? Like the gunpowder car is the one that can explode. They have the railway gun cart that has the big cannon. The ambulance wagon heals stuff. Kitchen wagon enables crew canteen action. And then I think in the caboose you can even call out some people working on the train to help you out as well, just about. So we just gotta wait for this to cool down. Take about 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's for balance purposes, because imagine if you could just spawn in like 100 armored trains into your enemy's base, all sitting in like the same spot firing stuff. That'd be like insane, right? So yeah, they kind of have to keep somewhat of a limit on it, just about, so it doesn't become a total wrecking ball, just about, yeah. And if we somehow took over this side of the map, we could actually transport these units too over to that side if we wanted to, just so you're fully aware of that. So we'll just wait for this to finish up. 30 seconds, right? Yeah. I may as well send these guys over too, just to show you how they do performance-wise while we wait for that to recool. Yep, we'll just go up there right now. This little army of machine gunners and flamethrowers. They're fully upgraded now, so we don't have to worry about that part. Yep, so I just have to climb up this part of the canyon here. It should be pretty easy. I think it's the entranceway is somewhere off to the side here, just about. And then, yeah, right over here. Just go right for the base right here. Alright. So what I might do is I might try to put these guys in the stationary right now. Let me see what I can do with this. Here we go. Perfect. And then we're going to call in the armor train with the upgrade right over here. Perfect. Yep. I'm going to try to take out some of these rams, because it might make it easier for us to basically yep, here's the armored train. We'll go over each of the compartments right now. So this is the back of it, so you can send out the train crew. These guys are a bunch of machine gunners. This is the ambulance wagon that helps heal your units. This is the cannon portion, and now you get the long range ability like the fixed gun does too now, which is great. This is the gunpowder car, which you can set to detonate if you want to damage a bunch of units just about. It also improves artillery damage and attack speed. This is the dining car, which helps increase all wagon and train unit hit points. And then this is the car that allows you to return back to the station for safety. So just imagine what we can do with these armored trains. And do mind too, when you get that upgrade for the armored train as well, it does reduce the cooldown required to get your next armored train just about. So if you want to get even more armored trains, you're going to want to upgrade this thing fully to be able to take advantage of that just about. So yeah, if you want, we could do one more armored train just to show you a little bit more action there. Or what we can also do is we can, well, send in like a realistic army of sorts to show you how you should actually use it. So we might actually do that here. Just get a bunch of Swedish guys. So here, but not a bunch of Swedes. An infinite army of Swedes, just about. Yeah, we'll just send in a bunch of Swedes. Like a huge army of these with the natives from the Inventor site together in a big mass. We can upgrade them too. Now I got a bunch of upgrades in like this deck maybe. So yeah, we'll just do this one, this one, this one, this one. This one, and this one. Yeah, we'll do all those upgrades just about. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a big army of these, throw them at the enemy with the natives here, and just demonstrate how an armored train should actually be utilized in a real combat situation, or at least a perceived one, because the thing is because this is on speed always wins mode, it's basically going to spawn in enemy units like instantly, so we might not get a full picture of that, but at least we can get a partial one. So I'm going to just get these up there, and then we're going to send one more armored train to just show you that it is indeed a very powerful weapon, and it's not one that just gets completely dismantled if you have an actual army there willing to fight. And then if we wanted to, we could also add in the Apache natives on this site as well as some of these cowboys here, and pick a faction for them, but we're not playing a full match, so there's really no reason to go that deep with it here, so we'll just go for an attack right now. And let's go in. Let's get our armored train back here. We're at the station just about. There we go. Let's pull in. Let's work. This will be absolutely essential here. Notice how if I have a big army of like infantry and stuff, I'm actually able to protect my train pretty well. Right, so here's the armored train, and it can actually do its job. You know, it can actually get things done. I'll get some of the train crew here as well. Help out. Oh, yep, we're doing pretty well here, because essentially at this point the armored train becomes a really nifty siege weapon for us to use. And then the crew that comes with the train is another support unit we can utilize to basically wipe out his army. Yeah, pretty much, yep, we'll just look for some more of his buildings. I actually did not expect it to go this well. I thought that, hey, we were going to show a bit of a prolonged fight, but I guess because the AI decided to go down here, it kind of gave us free reign of the situation. Isn't that always neat? Yeah. Yep. AI resign. Beautiful. And we won a game with the armored train, folks. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Yep. If you want to review all the trains again, this is the caboose, I think, that basically says, alright, let's go home, basically. This is the front of the train. This is the ambulance. This is the cannon portion. The gunpowder one that blows up and supports your artillery. And then this section here is the kitchen one that has these abilities. Field kitchen, which increases infantry hit points. And crew canteen, which raises morale and motivation, increasing all wagon and train unit hit points. So yeah, all these carts on the train are pretty important, so try to keep them all going if possible. Except for this one, which you might want to use to damage the enemy with the big button here. This is the same one that the gunpowder depots for the multis have, so use it wisely, I would say, if you're going to do that. But there's actually one more thing I want to do on this map before we go on to the next one. So we're going to restart the game, and I just want to show you what Valentine's tanks actually looks like here, because this is a land map, and I think this would probably be the most appropriate way to demonstrate them. So we're going to play the same way we did last time. Speed always wins. And a whole lot of love. Yeah. And then we can go on to another map to demonstrate the variation a bit, as well as one of the other inventors as well. So we're going to be doing Thaddeus Valentine this time, and we just need to find the site just about. I think it's down here, if memory serves me right. Yep, it's right over here. The good thing about these maps is they're generally pretty predictable about where to find the natives in, so that's good. So let me go over here. Let's pick that. Perfect. So this time we're going with Thaddeus Valentine and his wonderful tanks. So these tanks are basically just the Leonardo tanks. It's called experimental, even though you should already know it works from Leonardo da Vinci himself just about. So yeah, not really much inventing there. But either way, you can upgrade it to a Leonardo's model tank, which gives it 100% more HP. Base rate, this is what it looks like. Quite a good unit. Almost like 1.65k HP there. Pretty strong. Has 50% of each armor type. Damage wise, 120 crush with 3 splash. This is a pretty solid unit all around. And then when you start adding these techs onto it, it becomes a real beast. And then the last one, Tank Battalion, allows you to build a whole army of mortal engine army. So basically, it will increase the HP of these tanks even more, and it will add a build limit of 2. So you can have 2 of these tanks going forward. Another thing it does visually is it adds some steel-plated armor to the tank, which looks really neat as well. So yeah. And do note too, once you start upgrading these tanks as well, you will actually get to use the Leonardo tank abilities like the heliocentric attack and the Toccata attack, just about. So yeah, let's get these tanks rolling. I just want to see how they do against the enemy by themselves. Then we can move on to the next map. Yeah, we'll just roll these over here. La Macchina Magnifica. Blanto, Stop and Battle. So, civilians, you know what to do. It's Tiananmen Square time. Sad to say. Ooh, look at that. It's multiple armies. There we go. Great. War crimes. Gotta love them. These tanks over here. What's that archer doing? Take that. Just roll them up over here and get to work. See how long they actually... Look at all these rams. Look at all these rams. Well, you definitely... Wait a second. The Baron Rams can actually attack the tanks. Is that right? Wow, I didn't know that. Pretty insane, actually. Yeah, well, the cool thing about these tanks, too, is they're pretty mobile, so you can actually kite stuff pretty well. So you can actually last a pretty long time if you want to basically keep yourself alive. Yep. Eventually, as you see here, you do need to actually have a bit of an army behind them. So we could actually do what we did last time and just build a bunch of Swedish infantry. Do that right now. Bunch of Swedes. I'll add a couple, I don't know. Maybe we could add a couple of torps and get some more. Who knows? Yeah. I'll just do a big army of these Swedes and see, combine them with the flamethrowers and see, yeah, is this going to be an effective tank most of the time? We might even need some more coin for it, so we'll do that too. Get this. Yep, alright, there we go. I'll use let me do this, actually. There we go, a little bit faster. There we go, perfect, alright. That. And, well, I need a whole lot of more, aka money. There we go. So So these, this. Oh, I need some more poppy actually. So these guys actually cost pop. I didn't even notice that. That's good for balance reasons actually. So that's good that we have that there. Consideration of balance, and then tanks, rockets, rocket man, academy. We may as well put the academy onto one of the modes to help us out here. So I think we're going to put it onto chemistry to make our gunpowder units attack with more damage. Right, we're also going to upgrade a bit with our infantry. Pick up this upgrade over here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Yep, so as many upgrades as we can get. So yeah, this should be a pretty good mass now. I think we might actually be able to pull this off, maybe. We'll see. And for good measure, I'll also add in like the giant grenadiers, perhaps. Yeah, let's add them in. We'll get like a real army here. Just go for a push, see how the tanks are as a support unit. Yep, let's get them over there right away. Takes a while to move all these troops, just about. Yeah. One thing I always worry about when I'm playing Age of Pirates is the chance of the game crashing, which seems to happen. It's happened a number of times, you know. Like I was trying to record my gameplay of the Cook Islands map yesterday, and the first time I went through it, it ended up crashing, so I wasn't too happy about that. I basically did it all over again, and I was very lucky that time, and actually went through smoothly, so, you know, I was pretty happy to get a full gameplay going. Alright, so let's just go after him now. Right here. Alright, you need to come over here and do your job right now, or else we're all gonna die. Yeah. That's all I can say. You do this, and you run this. Yep. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the tanks being a good support unit here. This is beautiful. Yeah, this is the way you're supposed to use the tanks, by the way. You're not just supposed to throw them in by themselves. You're supposed to, like, have, like, you're supposed to have, like, this be, like, some sort of support in the back there. You could certainly do this and, like, do this, like have them in the front just about and shoot them this way, but yeah, you definitely can't send them in by themselves, so it just doesn't work usually. Definitely not. Yeah, there's that. Any more stuff 5 here to worry about. There we go. We could just resign now. Fine. We showed our point here today. You know, we'll give the AI a little bit of self-esteem back. Yep. Alright, so, yep, this is the big banner, by the way, of Age of Pirates, to let you know that it's on. Age of Pirates Naval Mod. And now we will go on to a different map that has more water on it. So, I think maybe the Cook Islands is a good choice, because it's a pretty nice island map, I think, that gives you a lot of space to build your navy on. Cook Islands, where are you? Okay, Cape for Krill. This one's more of an Asian map. We'll just run this one pretty quickly, because I want to show you the one that we didn't do yet, the airships. So we'll just do that one right now. Pull lots of more. And speed always wins, or it usually does. You know, remember the story of the tortoise and the hare, right? So yeah, you definitely have to be careful of that. Here's the dock. Yeah, the other reason we're doing a war map is to show you one of those variations too with the inventors. We'll just get a boat right here. We'll load somebody in. Yep, just about. And we will look for some inventors around here. I think they're either here or up there somewhere. All the more for me. Yep. Must make you feel pretty good. What is over here? So these are Wakaos. We'll do them another day. And they can have variations as well, mind you. So yeah, you do have to pay attention to each of the maps, because the different big button options you'll get depends on the map you're on. And some of them can even have an extra bonus as well, which we'll see on the next map with the inventors and one of the options they have there. Just about. Yeah. So is this the? I think this is the island with the inventors on it, I believe. Yes, it is. There they are. Just walk our way over there, and we will capture that site, and we will get cooking right away. All right. Here's our Inventors. So on more water-based maps, instead of the rockets, you'll have Iron Fleet, which ships a steam-powered destroyer able to train flamethrowers and detect submarines. So you're thinking submarines, right? Well, what are those? Well, those are basically some units you can get with one of the other Inventors, which you'll actually get a glimpse of right here. So first, let's get the Iron Fleet, upgrade our flamethrowers. So this is basically our Inventor's boat right over here. It's basically a steamboat like the USA gets, but it has red sails on it. It can train our flamethrowers, and it has the same ability as the USA one does. The full steam ability. Full steam ahead. Yep, just like that, and it just zips across the water like crazy. See that? Yep, helps you to traverse things pretty quickly there. You could even train the flamethrowers out right over here. And we could board them in if we want to too. Yeah, like that. Right. So beyond that, notice how the options are a bit different now. Instead of Schultze, we got Captain Nemo, who has submarines. And basically, we're not going to do him here, but we will do him on the next map, because on the next map, he does get a bit of an extra bonus, pretty much. So we'll save him for a bit later. We actually want to go with Charles Frederick here and his airships. Pioneer of aviation and aircraft constructor. Oh, we'll go with him right now. And this is the experimental airship. A full-blown Zeppelin. You remember this from Wars of Liberty, right? Yep, it's the same unit, just about. And it even has the show positions ability like the Great Buddha Japan does, where it can, identify enemy lines of sight just about. So look at how we were able to see pockets of enemy territory here with the towers. That's pretty neat. So once that's done, what can this thing actually do? So one thing you can actually do with these is, I believe you can board, you can board units inside of the Zeppelin too, which is great, because the Zeppelin can go in even more areas that the ships can, right? They can fly over buildings, they can fly over water, mountains, you name it. So this is a great way to basically ambush your opponents and fill this thing up to the brim with stuff. But if that's not enough for you, even though that's quite a bit, there are some ways to upgrade this. First one here is called Air Attack, which will give it a actual ranged attack called the Crow Attack. It's similar to the Flying Crow that the Chinese have, which shoots those rockets with like the wings on them. So it's very good as a siege unit. 8x against buildings and 2x against artillery and ships. So it really does do well against artillery. It's almost like a culverin and mortar in a way. So yeah, but if that's not enough, you get this ability here called Exploding Crow, which does a lot more damage and a lot more splash, about 15 splash exactly. So what we can do is we can look over here and we can just launch it at some of these. Yep, it's a nice explosion there. But hey, you're still not satisfied, right? You're thinking, oh, it doesn't look that impressive, right? No, we got war crimes. We got mustard gas. Adds this mustard gas, otherwise known as a poison crow, to it, and also improves the stats as well. 35% more HP and attack. So let's do this. And now we're going to commit crimes against humanity. We're going to defy the Geneva Convention in every way known to man. So we will see what we can do here with this. So, alright, there we go. Mustard gas. If you do it near a building, for some reason it doesn't always work. So you got to be sort of careful where you decide to do it on. But what we can do is we can actually destroy some of these boats here. Just be careful that you don't get attacked by too many units, or else you'll die. So yeah, there we go. That's a war crime. Look at that big mustard gas cloud. It just wiped out a whole field of stuff just about there. And that's what we like. Yeah. Also notice the cool octopus with the skull here that we got from the upgrade too. It makes it look even more menacing than the one in Wars of Liberty almost. Yeah. And yep, because we're playing on a fast mode, yeah, you can just keep going back and forth and dropping mustard on your enemies like this. There you go. Keep going flying crows. Yep. I think we could do a lot of damage just with this airship alone here, just about. Yeah. I can't remember if you can actually heal this thing though, so you do have to be careful about keeping it alive. It's very expensive, so don't lose it if you don't have to. really. So yeah, we'll just drop some of these here. Start cooking these boats. I will use another building right there. Yep, perfect. Take this out. There we go. They're still attacking my airship, which I don't like. What's that? Oh, it has like a war. Ooh, goes in the water. Alright. We'll make another one. We'll still have some more fun here. Let's put this over here and we'll do some more war crimes and see how much damage. You know what we should do, actually? We should just take all the flamethrowers out of here and just load them onto the land when we do it to demonstrate its power. Just about. Yeah, let's do that. All you, get in the airship. We will go for a launch onto the main island again. And what do we got here? We got, we will get most of gas there, and there we go. And do note that any units you have will die if you don't get them out of the airship in time while they're up there, so there is some realism to this, where they will fall to their very deaths if you don't get them out of the airship before the thing falls. So just be aware of that, too. So yeah. That's the airship, and there's one more thing we want to show you here. Something actually pretty cool. Something that will revolutionize the way you think of Age of Empires 3. And that is a very special map, actually, that's related to the Inventors. So let's go to a place called the Cook Islands. And that will be over here. We did a gameplay yesterday of the Cook Islands, but this will just be an overview of what the Cook Islands Inventor stuff is all about and why it's so significant. As you can see here, just looking at the map, you can see all these subs like fighting each other, but then you see this little bell here in the water. That's going to be really important for later, so just note that right now. And notice this too, Nemo bonus. So Captain Nemo gets a bonus on Cook Islands, and just Cook Islands for now. Maybe he will on other maps in the future, but we'll see. I think this concept's going to take off, honestly, so it's totally possible we're going to see similar like maps in other parts of the world, like maybe in the Caribbean, maybe down near Africa, maybe Atlantis, who knows. So, yeah, basically this is what we're going for here. We're going to get a dock because we actually have to swim our way over to the Inventors this time. And speed always wins. Or submarines always wins on this map. Yep, so let's get a dock. Get a dock over here. We get a boat. Let's get in the boat, shall we? Perfect, perfect. I think the Inventors are up here too, so we'll just go up here. Wonderful. Isn't it good when the natives are always where you expect them to in these maps? That's great. There you go. Perfect. So notice this first. So before we even get into Captain Nemo, you'd get this technology here only on this map called Deep Sea Pioneers. Ships a submarine which can train divers, able to gather resources from underwater mines and shipwrecks. Allows submarine training either from Inventor, Trading Post, or the dock. So if we research this, we actually get to enable ourselves a submarine without even going with Captain Nemo. So if we wanted to go with airships, we could go with airships with the one we went with last time with Frederick, or we could even go with Valentine and get tanks. So here I'm just going to get my divers and I'm going to demonstrate this for you. So these are deep sea divers with the harpoon attack. So basically they have a harpoon gun. So it can do some okay damage for infantry, but yeah, can gather underwater resources. Desperately needs a diving bell to provide them life support. Moves very slowly. So let's make some divers right now. So we got about 4 divers right now. But, oh no, they're losing oxygen and they're drowning. Yes. Just like in the real world, you can't have a diver stay in the water for like 1,000 years. He needs to get some sort of air. His life support system and his oxygen tank only goes so far. So how do we deal with that dilemma? Well, we built something called a diving bell. That wonderful thing you saw on the map earlier when we were blowing it up. So this is a diving bell, alright? And first of all, let me just show you this part first. Speed always wins, just to disable it. Okay. So first thing we need to talk about with the diving bell, it acts as like a little mini factory almost. So it can trickle XP about 0.32 per second. It can be configured to do coin about 0.09 per second, or it can do food about 0.13 per second. And then there's another option too called configure diving bell to be invisible for enemies but provide no gather bonus. So if you basically want to hide your diving bell so it doesn't get destroyed, what you can do is you can basically put it in the stealth mode. So yep, it goes completely invisible here, but it will no longer gather you any sort of resources at all. And look at this! The divers got all their hit points back because they were able to go inside the diving bell, fill up their oxygen tanks again, and basically be safe. And you can tell if the divers are within a safe range of the diving bell because of this little ring under their feet here. You see, I'll try to swim them up a bit closer so you can see it. So yeah, if you want these divers to have a long lifespan, you're gonna have to keep them near the diving bell wherever possible. So, but they won't die if you keep them away from the diving bell forever. They'll just go down to like one hit point, and then they'll just go boop and just die if they get hit with something. So the best way to keep them sturdy and healthy is to keep them near the diving bell. And these divers, they can do multiple things down here. You see this? These are some rare minerals, like some sort of gem or something. So we can actually gather from that. And then we can look around too for some of these shipwrecks, like this fishing boat that wrecked, or maybe well, this is a sunken galleon, so this has some money as well. But this is like a ship that got destroyed here a long time ago, so we'll actually start to mine wood from here. And you'll start to mine coin from either these minerals or these shipwrecks that look like this. So this gives you a great way to boom really well underwater while you're booming on above ground as well, just about. It's pretty cool, actually. But they aren't that great in combat. I mean, they do about 40 range damage, which is not bad. And do note, too, that they can attack land units, last I checked. So they can only attack naval craft. So they can shoot their harpoons at, like, ships and stuff. But as you can imagine, if the ships actually shoot back at them, they will probably kill them, right? But they do get a fair amount of armor, like a really good amount of armor. 80% of each armor value. So, yeah, they can do that. And the divers themselves can go stealthy, too. So, yeah, they can get super sneaky and just hide out if you know an enemy vessel's coming nearby so they don't get completely cooked. Basically, just like the diving bell can go stealthy. So, we got this out of stealth right now. The diving bell also has a set of technologies associated with it. You can also train divers from the diving bell itself if you don't want to do it from the sub, if you lose your sub. And what we have here is deep sea divers. This is basically an Imperial Age upgrade for your divers to make them 50% stronger. So we'll see how that affects it. Actually, well, yeah, we can do that. It's not going to take too long right now. Yes? Presumably this would mean that the divers go up to like 60. We'll see. Yep, goes up to 57 range attack. 176 HP. Hand attack of like 29. So what do they classify? So they're classified as heavy infantry, is that right? So they're basically musketeers without being musketeers, but they're also fishing boats too. How could you be a musketeer and a fishing boat at the same time? Only in modding, I guess. Yeah. Alright, from there, this technology is called Diving Crew, where it spawns 2 divers from every diving bell. And by the way, before we even get into text, what happens if I want to say, I want to go over here and get some of these rare minerals on this side of the water over here? What do I do? Well, if I take you guys and I decide, hey, I want to go swimming over here. Actually, let's show this actually first. So, let's say I want to get some minerals over here. What is an option I can actually do? So, what I can do is see this right here? This looks a whole lot like a diving bell, right? But unfortunately, it's got a bunch of sharkies around it, a bunch of guaraguras around it that we have to get rid of, you know. Instead of sending her super chats to go away, what we're going to do is we're going to torpedo her out of there. And send our harpoonists after them. Boom, boom. Take them out. There you go. Perfect. These harpoon guns doing quite a good job against these sharkies here. Yep, and now Gura has been sent back to Hull Live, and we can reclaim this diving bell for ourselves, which is pretty good. There we go. Wonderful. Another option is notice this technology here called Underwater Command Center. This will also increase your build limit of diving bells by 1 as well, so you can have 2 of them instead of 1. So you can either use that technology we just showed you, the command center, to build another diving bell, or we can try to find some that are treasures in the water and collect them, so we can then have safe passage for our little divers here to safely, you know, do some gathering on something like this shipwreck over here, just about. Yeah. And we have some minerals here too, so if you want some minerals, we can get that. Right. I find on average there's about like 2 diving bells or so on these maps that you can collect usually. Let me see. You usually have to scout around a bit for them, so just be aware of that. Where's the other one? I'm curious. I think it's not over here. You don't always get 2, but sometimes I see like 2 of them here, so you definitely need to watch out. Because what you can do to maximize is you can build your second diving bell and then start capturing the ones underwater afterwards, just about, yeah. And by the way, these are actually fishable resources that you can gather from your fishing boats, basically. You can't actually gather them with the divers, unfortunately, but you can actually, you know, grab them that way, just about. Yeah. And notice how all the damage is getting ripped apart by those sharks, and they're actually able to heal again by the diving bell. So as long as you have a diving bell as a diver, you will be immortal. You will live forever. You'll forever be the scuba champion, basically. So after that, we got some more text we needed to go over here. So let's try this one for fun. See if it actually works. Let's see, because mathematically, we should have about 8 divers after doing this, right? Yeah. There we go. We got some more divers, so we can hang out back over here and get some more minerals. Right, and we can use the 2 divers that were made over here to help out on the shipwreck as well, which is great. Yeah. After that, we have another technology called extended life support. What this basically does is it increases the radius of the diving bell to support the divers and stop them from drowning, just about. But before that, I think it's better demonstrated with this tech, naval mines. So it allows divers to construct naval mines. Yeah, and these are real naval mines, mind you, just like the ones you can actually make in Wars of Liberty, but they look even cooler because you can see them from under the water, basically. So, yep, here we go. See how far you can put them out. You can put them out all the way out to about here. Yeah, and these things do about 500 hack attack with 5 splash, so they can rip apart a navy if they're not careful. And you can have up to, how many of these? You can have up to 10 of these, so these things can be very formidable. We can like put these all over the place if we want to, and then we can... This is why diving bell spread is pretty important, because then you basically turn the whole naval situation into like a death trap for your enemies. You can put one here, you can put one here, yeah, just about. Then you can put one down over here, just don't drown. We are starting to move a bit away from the radius, but that's fine because we're getting closer. So yeah, let's see what happens if we get extended life support now. This will take a few seconds to get right now. Right there. Wonderful. And now, can we put this out further? We'd actually can, it looks like, but yeah, but at least we can breathe further out here, right? At least in theory, so we'll see. So yeah, like now we can go out to about... nah, we can't go that much further, but it does also increase the gather rate bonus to your divers underneath the bell as well, so they will gather a bit better that way. And then we have the last technology here called the... click on this one. It's called the deep sea mining. It will actually increase the diver's gathering rate as well as the diving bell's auto gather rate as well. So these guys will start to mine stuff even better, as well as the shipwreck people. Again, the wood will also gather a lot better as well. So yep, you can see it right there. Went up to like 2.5. And then on the diving bell here, yep, you can see the trickle went from 0.09 to 0.19. Food, similarly, went up to 0.27, and then for XP, went up to a whopping 0.65. So, yeah, it just makes it much more economical then. Yeah. Well, let's decide, in theory, that one submarine is not enough for you. What you can do is you can go with Captain Nemo, and you can get even more subs, including this really heavy sub here called the Experimental Submarine. This thing is like a tanky beast. So we'll get that right now. Let me just, speed always wins at this point. Do that. There we go. Perfect. Get our other submarine back. And we get some upgrades with these submarines as well with Captain Nemo. So notice how both of the subs can actually train the divers, which is great. But we got some techs here. We got this one called Legendary Nautilus, which increases the hit points of not only the little sub, but it actually increases the ram attack and the HP of the big sub a whole lot, the big giant sub here. So yeah. Let's get that. And then there's a final technology called Nemo Submarine Fleets, which allows you to build a whole submarine fleet and get 2 more subs as well. And why are these subs important? Well, these subs actually can do a lot of stuff. See, they get different modes on them. So there's about multiple stances you can have your submarines on. So you have the normal one, right, where it's fully submerged on the surface, it moves very fast and can attack buildings and land units, so like stuff on the coast. It's like a normal warship. But let's say that you want to set up a formation for these submarines. You can put it into submerge. The submerged submarine with no silent drive is not completely invisible, but moves a bit faster and is hard to hit. So 40% bonus damage against ships and docks, 50% more HP. Can't attack land units. So let's submerge that here. And it's actually under the water now, which is really cool to watch. Yeah, very neat to watch. And then you can go into Protect Dock, which submerged submarine stands to protect dock or trading posts and doesn't move around the map. So it stays stationary. It gets about 40% damage against ships and dock. Can attack land units, 50% more HP, so even, well, that's about the same, but in addition, nearby building hit points increase by 75%, so let's say, hey, my dock is under fire here, I'm trying to save it, so what I can do is I can move my thing into this position, right, and now this thing is a monstrous tank of a dock now, and that thing is not going down anytime soon. It does look like you can still move it though, so I don't know about that. And then we got silent drive here. Submarine becomes invisible, so it actually goes into legitimate stealth and can get close to the enemy ships, but moves very slow. It retains that 40% damage against ships and docks and 50% more HP, and it still can't shoot at land units. So when you're submerged under the water like this, you cannot actually attack things on the beach like this. It has to come up above water to do that. Notice that. So just be aware of that when you're using it, basically. Yeah. And if you have a whole fleet of these submarines, what you can do is you can do this very powerful charged attack, special ability attack called a ram attacks, where you take this boat and you go under the water, boom, and you stab it with the front of your submarine like that. It's very powerful, actually. And if you do it in tandem with the other submarines, you can actually puncture them very well. So we'll just ram into the sides of them here, hit them with that one, and then we'll hit you with this one. Ooh, look at that. That's a lot of damage, basically. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, it is a lot of damage, so really good there. Just about, so there we go. I think we covered everything today. About submarines, Zeppelins, tanks, armored trains, machine gunners, flamethrowers, you name it. These are probably one of the more eventful and entertaining of all the factions, I would say, the minor factions in this game. So, yep, let's see if we can... Ooh, look at that! We just lured him into the naval mines, too. Caught him in a trap there. Alright, perfect. And we'll just ram into some of these. Great. Looks like the AI is actually getting some of the pirate natives and using it, which is great. Yeah, by the way, they did a really good job of sort of, well, basically getting a naval AI to use with this mod. So even if you don't have any friends to play with, you can still play against a naval-based AI in this, which is awesome. The bot is actually really dangerous, so you better be careful. So yeah, there we go. Age of Pirates preview number 1 for Inventors. Done. So if you enjoyed that one, let me know. I had a lot of fun doing this. So, I mean, if you want me to do the cowboys, do the Wakao, do the pirates, do the Maltese, the Jewish settlements, all the other ones, I'll happily do those ones for you too. So, see you on the next preview we do at some point. Sign off now.